Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is May 11th, 2020, and we're back again on the charts for our market insight session. So, hope you guys had a good weekend. Pretty good for me. Wake up and smell the coffee. I got some coffee this morning. And we're gonna go over some pairs, get some biases for the week. Before we do that, I'm gonna go over some admin stuff like always. First of all, if you're not in our community Discord, make sure you sign up. The link to sign up is in the description of this video. It's free to sign up. Come and chat with members, see analysis, get signals from many of our providers. It's all there. My chart book is sent here, so this is a place to be. This is where I actually communicate during the live session with members. And so the sign up is free. Go ahead and do that. A second thing is our trading challenge. So if you go on Discord, you probably already seen this message, but it's a traders challenge. And to keep it really short, all you have to do is grow a demo account once to get a lifetime membership with Forex Lens. If you go a second time, you'll get a live funded trading account. Currently, we're offering I think 25,000, but we may offer more accounts. But right now, that is that, and you can even see the rules and the whole guidelines for it, which you have to abide by. On the Discord, and we do have it on our website, but I think the Discord is the easiest place to get access. Now, if you have any questions about this or you're interested in signing up, either message Allison on Discord or email support@forexlens.com expressing your interest in the trading challenge, and we'll make sure you get ready and get started ASAP. For those that messaged in, we should have your demo login details sent in by today, so be on the lookout for that, and then you can start trading. Second thing is the Smart Effects managed account program. So if you've been on a Discord, again, Discord is the place to be. You would have seen Institute Trader, and he's our trader that trades based on institutional concepts. These aren't things that are taught to regular retail traders, and he's been killing it, and he's been doing it at such a good pace that we've created a managed account for him. And if you want to look at the MyFX book, we have provided one, and he has been absolutely shattering the markets at minimum drawdown. I mean, 2.5% drawdown is unheard of, and month per month, if you exclude the first 10 days of May, he's been averaging on 7% per month. And so we're accepting members right now. The minimum deposit is 3K, and so if you're looking to get in on this, now is the time. We are accepting members. Again, to get on it, you could either message Ellison on Discord or email support@forexlens.com, and the support team will have your back. So those are two options, and I think that's most of all I want to cover admin stuff. Again, the Discord is a place to be, and if you're on there, you'll be up to date with all our announcements and what's happening with our community. So that is that. And so during the session, I'm gonna go over some pairs, pairs that you guys asked, and as I go along, you can ask me questions, and I'll get to them as I do, with the majority of them being answered at the end. So I asked a few of the members what pair combinations you want me to go through, and a lot of the pound pairs and pairs we covered from Friday. So a lot of the pound pairs we covered on Friday. So we'll get that a look, and we have some Aussie dollars. For everyone on YouTube, I'll get to you as well. But this week we have a lot of USD fundamentals with inflation data tomorrow. So we have the CPI data tomorrow at a negative 0.7% forecast and negative 0.2% forecast. Obviously, that's not good for the U.S. economy, and we should see. So this past Friday, it had pretty good NFP numbers. So if you look at it, you can see all across the board, even the Canadian job market did pretty well as well. Green numbers in relation to the forecast, so that's pretty good for the dollar. So that's why this week there could be the return of the dollar bulls. When we look at euro, you'll see that euro has kind of gave up all the gains it's made back. So euro USD. Now I'm not telling you to go long. Now this was a trade from last week, and this is important of taking partials and moving stops to entry, because we got stopped out at our partial position at entry, and now this trade's heading back to the support. So I'm gonna move this idea. Right now at support, I don't know if this thing will hold, but if it does break, which it could, in the next 2 hours, it should probably head down back to 1.07600, around 40 pips away. So that's where Euro USD is looking for right now. It is starting to curl over. It should pour itself down to here. Just looking to the left, that's a place where Euro USD has been attracted to. I think that's where we'll go, but again, euro is in a tough spot itself economically. It's dealing with the same pandemic as the dollar is, and so it's not for sure that the euro is going to make back those gains. But we'll see. I think tomorrow's numbers, and that's tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, we'll have the numbers for the CPI, and this will basically determine how much economic growth is occurring. If these numbers come out green, you should see euro back down to these levels for sure. So we covered a lot of pound pairs on Friday. It's pretty much pound mania, and we'll just start off with pound dollar cable just to get an insight on it. And so yeah, last week we took a long on pound dollar just off a simple 4-hour closure, a nice long bullish hammer with a long wick, took it to the upside, and then over the weekend / Sunday, partial positions were about stopped out. Now again, you can see the levels that pound has been attracted to. If I move the old long idea, you can see this level 1.22747 has been a pretty decent support for it these past few months. Dating back to March, we had a rally from here. The price come up, then a rally again, a rally here, and then we even had a wick early last week, which we took a long from. And so since then, prices come back down. USD bulls have come into the market early this New York session, and is trying to take this thing back down to that support. Now, if they were to take it in the next, I think, 4-hour closure, which is in 2 hours, you should be looking for rebounds. So I'd be looking for rejections from this level, and that level is 1.22747, and I'd be looking for some sort of price action like this, for this to eventually touch it, and then have a kind of a reaction off, either a bullish hammer or a bullish engulfing 3-soldier pattern. Any of those reversal patterns would be great. But we just need to show that we're respecting the level. Obviously, this candle was more than ideal. A very, very long, bullish hammer, which is indication of going up. So that's what we're looking for. Obviously, right now, can't really trade this candle. If you look at the smaller time frame, it's probably going to be, yep, exactly. So it's going to be a push down, a push up, and then a push down again. So it doesn't really know what to do right now. So what we can do is actually see what happens at the secondary support for this pan. Now you can see there's 2 supports, this 4-hour support and then this 1-hour support right here, which we have kind of used as a retracement point before we launch off. And again, you can see that again. So we could do that. So what could happen is this 1-hour candle can come here to 1.23150, reject it like it has in the past, and then we go along, right? So you could have that option as well. But for the pound, you want to usually rely on the 4-hour time frame and the 4-hour closure. So that'd probably be the best. But if we do get some sort of reaction like this, then the 4-hour candle itself will turn pretty bullish, and then we can just go off of that. But again, this is what you want to look for. Is these 2 levels are key importance. 1.23150 and 1.22747 are going to be the 2 importances for for pound dollar longs. Turning to the weekly, you can see the wicks around this level, this 1.22747 level, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now potentially 6 candles wicking through this level. And obviously last week the price action was pretty jumbled in these past few weeks. Pound dollar hasn't really made any major moves. It's kind of been stuck. This is a weekly time frame. You should expect big moves from pound, but again, it's been kind of trapped in this box, right? These past 7 weeks has been trapped in this box. So for now, we'll be catching these baby moves. If anything breaks outside of these kind of areas, you can see we still have an alert at 1.22560 to take it all the way down. It's still being there because if we do break this box, then definitely the short's there. So I'm keeping that alert. If we pop above, then we're taking the longs. But for the past few weeks, it's been consolidated. So we haven't really had any major swing trades or anything like that for pound. It's mainly been on the intraday level. So that's what I see for pound. We looked at pound Aussie last week as well. 4 hour time frame. And so pound Aussie, we had a potential long idea. Now these targets are from our original short, and we can just say it's inverse. But we were looking for a 4-hour bullish reaction off this level. Right now, the 4-hour candle is not bad, but this could be a trade that I told you last week that could be a major player and a major giver, right? It could be a very rewarding trade. Again, we just need a 4-hour bullish closure. Now, this 4-hour candle right now closes in about an hour and 40 minutes. If it is bullish, we will have entry. I'll call the signal on Telegram and Discord, and we'll go long. Looking to the left, we don't need to because we took a short. So you guys remember when we took a short last week? This was target 3, target 1, target 2, target 3. This time this will be inverse, target 1, target 2, target 3. But obviously we'll take profits, 25 pips first time around, just to make sure we split some profits. So right now we're at 1.9400. Our first TP will be right where these wicks are. You can see price has wicked up into this rate, up into this level at 1.9690. This is 1.9700. You can see multiple wicks to this level here. Again, a wick to this level here. Again, right here. And we did it today as well. So for some reason, this level is a major resistance. And so what we could think of that way is that instead of waiting for this kind of close bullish, since it has shown some resistance at this level, we could actually wait for price to break above that level. Because if you go to the 1 hour, you see the rejection from this level exactly. You see there was this rejection. We tapped it, bearish candle. Here we go, we tapped it, bearish candle. Here we tapped it, bearish candle. If you want to go all the way back in here, so you can see again that same occurrence at this level, that 1.9700 level. So to make sure we get the best possible idea and an entry, we would wait for a bullish 1 hour closure, above this level. So a candle like this, perfect. This is a bullish hammer, very long wick at the bottom, barely any wick to the top, and you have a nice push off. So we'll look for that. Anything else will be a fake out. So currently you can see it's rejecting that resistance pretty nicely, and I mean, we could even be devil's advocate and take a short from here. That could be a possibility on the intraday time frame. It actually might not be bad. But for the longs, that's what I'm thinking. So let me just see the R2R for the potential short. Now I want to move this, slide this over. We could take a short, targeting this and this as two targets. Something like this. Stops gonna be very, very tight. Payoff down here. 2.41. It's not bad. I mean, if this hour candle stays bearish or could become a bit more bearish, I'd be happy to enter this trade. The stop loss is 40 pips, actually 38 pips, so it's not too bad for pound Aussie. We know pound Aussie can move and pips can be substantial, but the stop loss can also be substantial. So 35 to 37 pip stop loss isn't bad. Yeah, so I think this is a perfect first target right here. You can see it's a pretty solid support. And if we do reject this resistance like we're trying to right now, we should head lower for a nice 40 pip gain and a total of a 2.4 R2R. So I'll see about this 1 hour closure. If it does, however, flick back up and it turns and it goes bullish above the 1.9700, then we'll continue the long bias that we originally had for the week. Okay. And our R2R for the long is good as well. So it all depends on which one we get. Again, for the long scenario, you have a 3.6 R2R, and for the intraday short, we have a 2.4. So either or could happen. Right now, the current bearish candle, the 1 hour, is getting squeezed back up. So we'll see how it closes. It has around 40 minutes to work its magic and decide. Next up, pound CAD. So we had a similar long idea as to pound Aussie, and you can see why, just because we were resting on support with no real movements down. And this actually looks better for a long, if you ask me. Again, very significant support for the start of the quarter at 1.72000 or just 1.72100, in and around that area. I'd say 1.72100 is great. And you can see this current 4-hour candle has reacted pretty nicely, but you can see our entry criteria is just above this white line. And so as long as we get a closure above 1.73340, we're going to take a long for GBP CAD. So something like this. And this is why I don't enter trades on Sundays. I like to come in on Mondays with a clear mind and nice candles to react to, because there's usually gaps over the weekend. So this is the idea now. Again, I'll put an alert, and we can get an entry very, very soon. Last week we had to wait until the midweek to get entries. Maybe today we'll get 2 trades in, and that'll be great. So 1.73350, we need to close at least on the hour. If we close on the hour, then the 4-hour will close bullish, and that's all we need. And we should take the long. Again, the R to R 2.72 is pretty damn good for a pound pair. All right, now send in this chart work because this chart work isn't on Discord. And I'll remove. And yeah, so you can see the call out here. On Friday, I put the call out at 1.73300 for our bullish closure will swing long. You can see our alert is still there. Alert crossing up 1.73358. So we're still waiting for my alert to get dinged, and you can even put the same alert as I do, like this one. And we'll see. And again, if I get the entry, I'll give you guys a signal for sure. So yeah, let me save this, and I'll send this to people on YouTube. Send in the pair recommendations. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to be answered. Any questions? So someone said Aussie yen silver, of course, FX bro. And then I'll answer that next question. Parth Vats, I'm not telling you to sell Euro. I'm not telling you to buy Euro USD. That was last week. Jonathan Armour said, look at the chart yourself and get your own conclusion. That's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. I mean, at the end of the day, this is not financial advice. This is just trades I take. I give you the tools to succeed. You just gotta implement them and go with what you see, what your gut says. But certain times, I could call a swing long, and another trader can call a short on the intraday level. Those are both viable setups. So Aussie yen and silver. Okay. Something coming in here. Gold and USD CAD. Yeah, so we looked at gold and USD CAD. Perfect. USD CAD. Alright, cool. Okay, so I'll actually look at Aussie yen quickly for FX Bruv. Right, so this trade, it's a good lesson actually. So last week we had a potential long for Aussie yen. Now what we're looking for is a bullish 4-hour closure above 68.900, right? And now, this trade played out perfectly, but we didn't enter it. Now, the reason why we didn't enter it, or at least I didn't enter it, was because the 4-hour closures weren't bullish for me, right? They're not the bullish definition we look for. Again, for example, this is like an indecision candle. This is a bearish hammer. Again, the candle up here, remove. This candle right here is a, just an inverted bullish hammer. We wanted a candle, again, our bullish definition, either a bullish hammer or a candle with a very little wick and just a big body. Let me try to find you guys that candle. So like a candle like these bullish hammers are great, or a candle like this is perfect. So let me zoom in here. A candle like this is absolutely perfect. No wick to the top. If there is a wick, it's at the bottom, but just a huge body pushed to the upside. And so we didn't get that, so I didn't enter it. And it doesn't have to be the first candle. It could be this one. It could be this one. But you can see none of the candles turn into the bullish candle we like until this one. This one was a bullish hammer, but by then the trade was pretty much done with. And although it did go to our our target region, onto the to the T perfectly, and it's about discipline, right? Discipline will save you 20 times out of 20, but that one time, that other time it may not. So Uh, Removing this now, I think Aussie yen, you can see it just reacted off resistance. I'd probably look for it just to break this for our support, and if it does, like it done in the past, it should go back down. Very simple concept. So this is the trading range, right? We've had a ping from here, a bounce from here, a potential sell-off, a fake out basically here. Price pulled back, it went to the top of the resistance or top of the range, and then price should make its way down here unless something changes fundamentally, but we can't really predict that, so we're going off technicals for now. And so again, maybe a break of the 69,350 should be good for you to take it down. And I wait for the 4-hour closure, just because Aussie yen has been a bit elusive these days. So all in all, I'd probably look for something like this. Something like this, and this is at 3.28. So I'll put an alert, and let's see what happens. So Aussie yen, next up USD CAD. So this was the 7th. Okay, so last Thursday we had a short idea. This is a trade I actually missed out on. We had a perfect inverted hammer entry, and I sell off. Since then, going to Sunday and going to Monday, the bulls have come back again. That's the title of this video. USD bulls are back in action. So remove the short idea. Honestly, USD CAD could probably make a rally back up to this 1.41500 level. It has inflation data coming out tomorrow, and obviously if it's bullish, it should take this thing higher. But if you just look at the two zones that USD CAD has been following, one is the top zone right here, right? You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible trade opportunities in this zone, and then you had a second zone at the bottom right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 potential trade opportunities in the bottom zone. Now it's made its way back to the second top zone right here, so let me move this one. And obviously, based on intuition and just what we talked about, this thing could make its way back to the top of here, but it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it might go halfway into the range, so it could go here and then sell off, right? Or it can go all the way up here, or 70% of the way, 80% or 100. It just depends, right? But the fundamentals are going to pretty much drive this trade. We have core retail sales on Friday, CPI, and we also have GDP and unemployment claims this week. So a lot of news this week. So it's probably going to be a news-based trade, but I think the bias is long. Now we're currently running up into this secondary support we drew on the 1-hour time frame based on this line at 140, 340, 140, 340, and price is kind of struggling to close above it. So if I were looking to enter a long, or if you're already in longs, the 1-hour time frame, you can see we just need this thing to close bullish. If it does close bullish, I'd probably target 1.4770 as my first target, and then the next step is obviously 141.500. So something like this, 2.73. Wow, that's actually a really good trade. I actually wouldn't mind calling this trade today in the next few hours if we get the 1-hour closure. So yeah, if we get this 1-hour closure, I'll probably call this trade, and I'll send the signal on Discord and Telegram, and we could take this trade to the upside. It does have a lot of momentum this morning. You can see in the last retrace, just the 2-3 hammers we printed. This tells me that there's a lot of buyers want to take this thing higher. So definitely a nice viable setup. So I'll let you guys know within a few hours if we're going along. Gold. So gold has been flirting with that 1700 level. I'm waiting for it to do a move. I don't know if it's going to do one soon, but a big week for the USD, so it should do its thing this week. So wow, Perfect price action. So it's reacting pretty nicely to the 1692 level. Now, if you remember on Friday, I said that gold can either go back to 1738 or down to 1692, and I think that's the option we got, 1692, and it's printing a nice bullish hammer. I'm resisting the urge to call along right now, but I do want to take it. Let's check out the 1 hour, see why this thing created a hammer, or that's why it created a hammer on the 1 hour. Let's see the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is also a bearish hammer. Damn, I would usually enter this trade, but if we got this, if this 1 hour candle was a 4 hour candle, I'd definitely enter long. But the 1 hour can be very volatile for gold, as you can see right now. This thing is trying to turn into a bearish candle. So for gold, I'd still say we're long as long as we stay above 1692. If we do break it on the hour time frame, then we're going lower, back down to 1685. But as long as the bulls can stay above 1692, I'll look for longs. So ideally, we'll wait for the 4 hour time frame for any signs of rejection. So the 4 hour time frame, you can see 1692. Either this 4 hour candle, or I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the next one at 5 p.m. closure. It needs to be a bullish candle of some sort, either a hammer or again it's a big body candle with very little wicks, and we can take it back to the upside. So that's the overall thought process. I'm not really sure if shorting is the way to go. We have to see what the inflation data says tomorrow, but with the amount of setups we have pending, I wouldn't waste margin or equity on trading gold just yet. Let's get some insight tomorrow. USD CAD, alright, perfect. Oil seems to be popular. We looked at oil on Friday as well. So oil opinion still stands. I'm looking for bears. We do have to get a solid 4 hour bearish closure below 23,880 to take us down. And that's it. Actually, let's find this out. We need a bearish 4 hour closure below 23,997. Ideally around 23,500. You can see where the potential entry is, 23.43. Around there is where you want the ideal entry. So we want the bearish candle to actually break the level and not really fake us out. And so the break needs to be at least a few 10 to 20 pips below that support, and that should take us lower. The reason why I'm calling shorts or potential short is because the daily time frame is showing you guys a reluctance to go higher. From this level, which was the resistance at the start of the pandemic, and then even this secondary resistance here. So this 27.58 level has been holding oil down. And so I think if we do break this kind of miniature support on 4 hour, we should be headed lower. And that's still the bias. So I'll put in alerts and I'll send in the chart work. So my alert is going to be at 23.6. So 23.6 is where my alert is, crossing down. Let's see what happens. And I'll save this and send this through. So on the 4 hour time frame, again, very key. Alright. Now someone asked for USD CHF and Aussie dollar. Perfect. I'll give that a look. My EMA, sure. I don't really rely on them too much, but they do help. So this is the EMA 8 close, which is my blue one right here, and then this one is 9 close. So this is a pretty tight EMAs, mainly because I'm running on the 4 hour time frame, and so I'm just looking for very snappy, quick movements, crossovers. For example, if you go to the 15-minute time frame, it's pretty much the only reason why I use them. 15-minute time frame. Usually when you have a crossover and you have a rejection candle, like the inverted hammer, that's when I usually enter. But that's just extra confluence. Using the price action enough is what you need. But I just have them there. Just an added tool, I guess, right? USD CHF. Let's go. So this is actually on Friday's close. Yes, it was. So Friday I gave a potential short for USD CHF. That's why following the candles is important. So you can see the date Friday, May 8th. Now this candle on the 4-hour time frame is not a bearish candle, right? You can see the wick to the top is shorter than the wick to the bottom. This is a bearish hammer. And then you had another wick, an inverted hammer, which is good for shorts. But this is one of the reasons why I don't enter trades on Friday, especially this is at 3 hours before the close. I don't enter trades on Friday unless it's Friday morning and it's for news or whatever. But again, we had an inverted hammer, so that should take us lower. And then you can see the next 4-hour candle closure. At the market closure, price came back up, right? And now you're stuck in this trade. Now over the weekend, this thing gapped up, and now it's in deep drawdown. So again, I don't enter trades on Friday unless it's in the morning based on news. But once that 12 o'clock afternoon period hits, if you enter a trade, you're gonna be trapped all over weekend through the entire weekend. And it goes the same for even entering on Sundays. When you enter on Sunday, most of the world is closed, right? The only open session is London. So you're kind of playing with fire there, and some brokers don't even open until Monday. So I think Monday, get your trading and most of your profits done from Monday. Latest Friday morning, Monday through Friday morning. After that, just be out of the markets, be an observer. People await Sunday's market closure like it's Christmas. It's nothing major ever happens on Sundays unless it's news related. But again, USD CHF, we had a potential short on Friday discussed. Obviously that idea is kind of out of the water now. Now it's looking like a long, right? You see this kind of support that we've kind of relied on. The short came down here, we came back up. We used a support once, twice, and we're looking to launch back up. Again, the theme is USD bulls are back in action this morning. So, looking at that, taking that into perspective, we could just have a long, right? Now, it wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't be as great as the other long we drew up. But still, 2.0 R2R is still pretty good for USD CHF, considering the stop loss is 29 pips. So it's not a bad trade to take. Going long, the 4 hour is pretty decent right now. I'd probably wait for just the 4 hour kind of to close. Be patient, and then probably take that long with targets. Again, it's USD CHF, so it doesn't move too much per pip, so you have to be a bit reasonable with your target regions. But probably this is a nice first target. We have several wicks up in that area. And then I'd probably end my trade just at these highs. If it goes up here, that's fine, but I think, TP1, TP2, and then TP3 is fine. So 50 pips, a total of 50 pips could be gained, and I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. It's still a decent amount to gain from a trade, and you're risking around 9 pips, so that's not bad. Actually less than that, 27. So that's a potential idea. Probably look for longs if I were you, and I'll put an alert in case I want to enter this trade. But I think those pound Aussie and pound CAD trades are probably better. All right, Aussie dollar, perfect. So any other pair recommendations, let me know. Aussie dollar, pretty similar to what we discussed on Friday. It's probably gonna fill out the range. Aussie CAD, pound dollar, perfect. Morning no name. I wish you had a name, so I don't have to call you no name. Here's Aussie dollar. So again, similar to Aussie yen, we had a potential long, but it didn't fit our price action criteria for the 4 hour candle, so we didn't enter it. Discipline. Anyways, the 4 hour candle is kind of in a range. I mean, the 4 hour is in a range. You can see right here. Right, this is the range. This is your resistance. This is your support. We've had one and kind of a second jump from this level. We're currently halfway in the range. We have another half to go. And so based on that thinking, what are you going to do? You're probably just going to wait for a 4 hour, since it's not a 4 hour time frame, a 4 hour break below the support at 0.64736 to take us down all the way here, right, to satisfy the rest of the range. Again, USD bulls. If the USD bulls are in action, we should see Aussie dollar float to the bottom. So that's what we're looking for again. A potential short idea. Right, our stop loss is in between the previous range, which is this from this. That's our stop loss right here. Our potential entry is down here, and you have a 3.3 to R2R setup. So for our bearish candle closure, and we want it to be bearish. We don't want any bearish hammers like this. We want an inverted hammer like this candle, or just stayed, this candle is perfect. This is perfect, or a nice bodied bearish candle is what we want. So take this down, and our first target would be 0.64375, roughly 25 to 30 pips away. So let me put an alert. My alert's gonna be at 0.64656, crossing down on the 4-hour time frame. So you have a lot of setups to discuss. Now it's about patience, just finding that perfect entry. It is a Monday. The day has just started, so NZD, USD, NZD, USD, let's go. Similar to Aussie Yen, since these are inverses, since they are correlates, they pretty much do the same thing. So removing this 4-hour bearish closure, we currently have a nice inverted hammer. We have around an hour and 15 minutes to go. So if in an hour and 15 minutes, this thing does turn into a more bearish candle. Right now it is an inverted hammer, but I would ideally want the bottom body to close off, something like this. You want the body to cover that wick, and then we take the short. So again, this is going to be a pretty nice setup if the 4-hour candle can hold or get even more bearish. And this will be the R to R. So again, stop loss in between the previous ranges, right here, TP down here, 2.31 R to R, and we'll take our first take profit just down here at this support, right? So a potential 70-60 pip trade, that's not bad, considering the stop loss is only 20 pips. So yeah, so we have a couple trades ready to go in a few hours. In an hour, maybe in 2 hours, but definitely sooner rather than later. So will be a more eventful Monday and trading week, considering last week was NFP week, and those tend to be hit or miss. So I have an alert at 0.60657. We'll see if price can make its way down, then we can take the short. So awesome. Very, very solid pair recommendations. Alright, let me check YouTube. We're coming up to an hour, so I don't make this too long. So NZD, USD, we just did it. Quick look back. This is the potential idea we have. Someone said Aussie CAD. Of course, Tomas will look at that for you. So NZD, I'm just looking for this 1 hour candle closure, or this 4-hour candle closure to close bearish. Right now it is bearish, but you would want it to be a bit more bearish. You can see if you zoom in. Currently there's a long wick to the bottom. We would ideally want the body to come and cover it, so you have a nice solid textbook inverted hammer to go short. But either way, if it can stay as is, that's fine as well. I'll take it. Aussie CAD. I wonder if we have a chart. Alright, here we go. This is a chart we drew a while back for Aussie CAD. I don't really trade this pair too much, but you can see, wow, this thing has made it back a lot of its losses due to the pandemic, considerable amount actually. It was all the way down here at one point at the peak, and since then it's reverted back to its December 2019 highs. Can you imagine that? That's actually pretty crazy. So my bias is long. This thing could be a pretty solid swing trade. You just look at this. We have a pretty solid support here, resistance all along here. We're currently using as resistance. If we do break above it on the daily, and we get some confirmation, we do have longs to these highs right here, right? We do have that possibility, right? 3.73. You could have that chance of looking at things more in shorter lens and near-term lens. We did have a sell-off earlier in the day, early in the London session. Since then, price has reacted back up. I guess as the Canadian markets opened up, this thing surged. I guess as long as it's stuck in between this kind of range, right, between this level and this level, it would probably be an intraday type of ordeal. So, just look at this range we have here. And so it's just, tapping from one range to the top, bottom to top. So I think the next thing you probably look for is it to make its way back up to here, back to the top of the range. And then down. Look for, signs of rejection and take an intraday scalp or whatever you want to call it, and take it back down. I think that'd be probably the best setup for now. I mean, unless we do break above, 0.91260, then you can take longs, swing longs. But as long as we're in the intraday range, you can have an intraday setup for Aussie CAD. But the price action is pretty disgusting. It's pretty jumbled up. It's kind of squeezed in. A lot of candles with no really separation. I mean, if you look at the candles, rarely do you have two candles, three candles of the same color, right? So you have three bearish, then you have bullish, two bearish, then three bullish, and two bullish. It's just all jumbled in. You don't have any rallies like this to the upside or the downside, so it's a bit consolidated, but it makes sense. Australian and Canadian markets are both struggling with this pandemic, so look for that intraday setup. I'm going to check YouTube one more time, and then Discord for any other pair recommendations. I'll let you guys know. Perfect. I think people on YouTube are set. NZD's covered. Aussie's covered. Alright, so we covered everything. And so I'll give the 50% coupon code. So if you do enjoy this session, and if you even watch Friday's session, and want to get on it. So usually Monday and Friday are the free sessions. Monday we have the general session, just finding biases and setups. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we usually get entries, signals, etc., and where most of the teaching happens. And then Friday is when we go over the trades and prepare for next week. So if you want to get on these sessions, we have a nice promotion going. It is where you'll get all the live sessions, all of our signals, and full access to our Discord for 50% off your first month. All you have to do is go to forexlens.com, go to the Forex Trading Room, click Get Started. Fill out this form, it will take a few seconds. Click Next, you will see enter a coupon code. If you enter this first 50, you'll get 50% off your first month. $48.50 for all the live sessions, all the signals, and full access to this Discord. I mean, this Discord is loaded. You got Institute Trader calling trades, Pipsology, Elliott Wave Analysis, Genius Ben, My Stuff, and all these signal providers. And you can even chat with community members, ask for TA throughout the day. I'm at your service. So hopefully I see some new faces in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we have some CPI data coming out, so it's also going to be a very crucial morning to be there. So make sure you join that session, and we'll see what happens with the dollar. So we have a lot of pending setups that could be activated in the next few minutes, going into an hour. So let's see how this day goes. With that being said, guys, if there's any other lasting questions, ask them on our Discord. The link to sign up is in the description below. And that Smart Effects MAM program, you gotta get on this. The gains are here to see. All the data on the MyFX book, and the trading challenge. If you're looking to trade with real money or get a lifetime account with us, all you have to do is grow a demo account once or twice, and it's yours. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Please be safe and happy trading. Peace.